Hi, this is Aumonn. First and foremost, I want to apologize for the delay with the end of the semester and everybody kind of transitioning into the summer and doing everything that they need to do and all that other stuff. It's been really hard to kind of keep up, but I'm going to be a lot more diligent about it and try to get back on the ball. So again, sorry for all that, but videos should be uploaded once a week now, once or twice a week from now on, so gonna get ready for that. Apart from that, what I wanted to talk about today, I guess in a sense it's kind of related to what Jalise was talking about in terms of the media's effect on the image of the black woman. I kind of want to talk about the everyday black woman's effect on image. So I'm going to kind of give a little scenario to try to explain what I mean. I was on the metro when I was living in Baltimore on my way to work, and I overheard these two black ladies talking. And first of all, they were just like they were both released in their 40s, and they were just extremely inappropriately. They had one of them had their eyebrow pierced, the other one had her lip pierced, and they had on entirely too much makeup. Like their weave was a hot mess. It was just their clothes, they just looked extremely inappropriate. They just weren't dressing for their age at all. And I don't know specifically what they were talking about, but it was something extremely petty, and they were just gossiping, and they were being severely loud and severely obnoxious. Like, it was crazy. And I was just looking at these women, and I'm just thinking, like, 9 times out of 10 y'all have kids. Like, y'all are supposed to be, as older black women, now I understand this may be a little bit far-fetched to some people, but I feel like you should have some sense of being a role model, you know? Like, I feel like you should have your image. Like, you should be more concerned about your image and the type of perception that you're giving off to people, and the image that you're like, the vibe that you're giving out is not something that I would want to aspire to, or something that I would never look up to. And it kind of got me thinking, excuse me, yes, there are a lot of celebrities that we can look up to, and they do they're all like philanthropists, and they do a bunch of charity work and blah 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 blah. But I personally like looking up to ordinary women, in a sense that they're everyday hardworking women who are independent, and they get what they can on their own, or like they're family women. People like my mom, friends' moms, and just, you know, like some of my professors at school, like some just hard-working black women. And I don't feel like we have enough role models like that. The black women that we do see are people like that on the metro, like just really, just two ratchet-looking females. Like, and I hate talking about black women that way, because I just feel like, I mean, they're negative stereotypes, but then when you see it, it hits you right, like, oh, this is real, like, you know? And it's kind of disheartening, because I feel like sometimes it's kind of unrealistic to look up to a celebrity or anything like that, because these people are, I feel like a lot of them are very superficial, and they're doing it just to stay in the limelight. Or then you have all these female rappers, or all these chicks on VH1 and all these freaking reality shows. Like, that's unrealistic to me. I feel like the people that we should be looking up to are these everyday, ordinary women that are successful in their own right. Like, or they're successful and their goals were something attainable that they reached, and like they're constantly trying to get better. And when they're out in public, they're not making a fool of themselves. Basically, you know, they look neat and clean and presentable, and they look like they care what they have going, like, you know. And it discourages me when I see two grown women sitting on the metro being loud and obnoxious, talking about some chick at work that they don't like, and they're just cussing and being rude and disrespectful. And I just feel like this isn't the way that you should be presenting yourself. Like, even if you're just having a conversation with your friend, you keep that to yourself between you and your friend. Not y'all and the rest of the metro. Like, I don't need to hear your conversation. I have on my headphones, but I can hear you speaking. Like, there's no reason to be. And then on top of that, there's the girls who sit in the back of the bus and they're on their cell phone and they're hollering and screaming, having an argument. Like, why is that appropriate to you? I should never be able to hear you having an argument. Like, remove yourself or wait till you're not in public to do that. Like, I see way too many black girls acting like that, and we need to start respecting ourselves, and we need to realize when we're being appropriate and when we're not. You always talk about you don't want somebody in your business, but on the other hand, like, you're out in public airing all your business, or you're on Facebook airing all your business, like, and you wonder why you're not really respected. We need to, and it's beyond self-respect, because they think they have respect for themselves, and maybe they do, they just don't understand, like, what they're doing is just not right. Like, they need to realize that they're being detrimental to themselves. Like, I agree with Lisa in the sense that, like, the media does perpetuate a negative stereotype, but at the same time, we know better. We're smarter than that. You know, we know when we're coming across a certain way. Most just don't care, and that's the problem. We need to care about ourselves and care about how people perceive us. And when we start thinking that way and think, okay, what I'm saying or what I'm doing is giving off a negative vibe, so let me fix myself. When we can do that, I feel like we won't need to rely so much on the media or something else for validation. Like, we should be able to validate ourselves and respect ourselves enough to know that, okay, when I walk outside this door, I need to put my A game on. Even if I'm just going up to the corner store, I need to walk to the corner store with my head held high and have some respect for myself and look presentable and just look like a young woman, not just some chick. Like, we need to look like young women and women, not that these girls running around. Like, I just feel like we need to understand ourselves first. And these older women who are supposed to be our role models, my role models, need to remember that I'm looking up to y'all. Like, you know, you're supposed to be what I aspire to be. There's no talk about you're some strong black woman. There's no strength in you being loud and obnoxious, or you looking a hot mess. There's no strength in that. Act your age. Like, you don't have to be some old prude, but act your age. You know? Like, I just feel like a lot of these black women out here need to get their stuff together immediately. So that's kind of what I wanted to say. I hope it makes sense, and I hope it doesn't sound like I'm just ranting, but that was something that was just kind of heavy on my heart, and I hope it gets people thinking. Like, it's not like an attack, and I'm not saying that all black females are walking around looking a hot mess, but the ones that are need to understand that it's your fault that you're acting that way. You know, like, and of course environment plays a big part into it and all that other stuff, but you don't have to be a product of your environment. You know, like, it's all just a mindset, and I know it's hard to change people's mentalities, but you have to be willing. And to be willing, you have to be able to, like, look at yourself and be critical of yourself. Don't put yourself down, but just be critical and say, okay, this is kind of what's negative about my persona, and this is what I want to do to fix it. And then once you get to that point, you'll be able to change, and you'll be able to be something that young girls aspire to. So that's just some food for thought.